Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be taking a first look at the Ukrainian Tarot, Flower of the Magic Fern by Tania Andrushko. I apologize if I pronounced that name incorrectly. You know me, I'm not great at pronunciation, but I am so excited about this deck. I am a huge fan of learning about other cultures and everything, and I always say, like, I'm a student of everything that I can find and everything that I'm passionate about. And that's what this deck is to me, is a new experience, a new culture, and I'm so excited to add this deck to my collection. I'll read you what it says here on the back, and then we're going to get right into it, okay? It says, discover the tarot through the enchanting folklore, myth, and culture of Ukraine with this stunning deck and guidebook. Now, what I really love, especially about this, is that Ukrainian energy about it. The stories, the tales, the folklore that they have in their history. And you know, if in my dream, my entire dream in the entire world is like my one purpose in life, I feel, is finding that connection with the other people in the world. You know, if we could just all get along, if we could all come together and stop fighting, you have no idea just how magical the world could be. Down here in the white, it says the Ukrainian tarot was born from a deep reverence for Slavic spiritual heritage, a treasury of ancient wisdom waiting to be explored. The 78 cards feature images from Ukrainian legends, ceremonies, rituals, goddesses, and gods ready to inspire and uplift. Within the guidebook, find approachable card meanings and the Ukrainian story and symbolism behind each image. The theme of the deck is based on the legendary flower of the magic fern. This magic flower is said to bloom only once a year and the shortest night of the year, bringing good fortune to whoever finds it. As the legend goes, this flower can be found only in the darkest of forests and only if your heart and intentions are pure. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine just going out into the forest, just walking through it, finding that energy of the nature, and then coming along upon this? That just be so magical, I think. It says, just as the magic fern shines during times of darkness, the Ukrainian tarot was created not just to celebrate and preserve Ukrainian traditions, but also to serve as a guiding light for humanity. Its intention is to inspire readers to expand in love and peace, welcoming illumination to their hearts and minds as they journey through the cards. That itself, just right there on the box, I am so ecstatic and so thrilled to see this deck. I cannot wait to get into it. I hope you are excited too. We've got to get it out of the plastic and get into it, right? Got the little nick right there in the stuff or in the plastic to get it off, and you can see there it's upside down. But it's published by Red Feather, and Red Feather Publishing, Schiffer Books, is some of the most incredible tarot deck publishers out there. They have, like this deck, you know, they're the ones that publish it. They're the ones that found that magic within it first. I've got Tarot Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Pleasures, and that deck is just, it's another one that's just absolutely beautiful by Red Feather. And then the Animistic Tarot, I've shared that one before, and that one, oh, it's just, they're so unique and so different. And yes, my husband thinks I'm nuts for wanting this many decks, but hey, if you're a tarot collector too, then you know exactly why. You know, there's all these different energies and things that we can learn. And like that bottom of the box, or back of the box, not bottom of the box, but back of the box said, you know, the stories in here are part of that folklore, and I am so freaking excited. Okay, here's the box, and it opens kind of like, you know, one of those magnetic closures right there. And there you've got the guidebook on top, and oh, just look how thick that guidebook is. Look how much energy's in it. And there you can put the notes. You know, you can share your own experiences in this. Now, I'm not one to do that. I don't, like, I have journals and stuff that people give me, and it's like, I don't want to ruin it with my own thoughts and stuff. So I probably won't write in there, but you know, that is an option there. And look just how colored and everything is. You know, it's rare to find a guidebook that actually has color in it, and this one definitely does. Oh, and the smell. You know, I don't, obviously you can't smell, but it's just like a new book. And I just love the smell of a new book, don't you? Now over here you can see that gold and everything there, and I absolutely love this. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. Expand your heart in love and peace. You can inspire humanity to do the same. We people, we, my friends, are the ones with the power to change it while we're here, to change the world, to stop the anger, stop the fighting and everything. You see here we've got two different piles. The way my lighting is, it's a little bit hard to see, but you've got those two different ones there, and they're pretty very big cards from, you can tell these different illustrations, like the Queen of Water, which would be the Queen of Cups, and the Fool right there, which is that beautiful, beautiful flower. What we call that flower? Yes, the magic fern, the magic fern. And you know, ferns around here where I am, I've never seen flowers on them, but maybe, just maybe, I haven't given it enough time. I haven't had enough patience, and I haven't taken enough trips into the middle of the forest in order to find it. But since, you know, obviously you're not going to want to watch this if the box is like this, so I'm going to pull each of these out. We've got that deck right there. We've got this one right here. So they're in two piles. The other deck I have like this is the Alicento Tarot, where they're in two different sides. So that's, you know, not something that we really see a lot, but it doesn't take away from the deck, because, you know, once you get it out, you're going to put it there. Oh, and let's look at that. Yes, those backgrounds, they're the gilded edges or whatever they call them. They're just beautiful. And that background itself, it's like it's a galaxy with nature combined. Yes, I'm already in love with just the, I'm going to set that second side over there. I'm already in love with just the backs and the sides and everything. And I haven't even seen the illustrations yet. But we're going to take that little band off the side of it, and I'm just going to go through the cards one at a time, and you're going to see them the same time that I do. There is that Fool, that magic fern. Oh yes, be a fool, follow that fern, go after, you know, spend that time in nature. It's so fulfilling, it's so magical. That is just gorgeous. Magician follows the Fool, and you've got that one right there. Did that one have the 0? Yes, the 0 is right there in the center, reminding us it's the cosmic egg, it's the idea, it's the potential before the action. The Magician is the action, I feel. It's that one energy is the action. Faking it till you make it, as I like to see it. And you see he's got his axe there, and it's got all the different symbols. And this deck is going to be so much fun to work with, because you have those stories right there in that guidebook that I showed you. We feel the story. We learn the energy of this Magician. The High Priestess follows the Magician in the sequence, and there's a lot of white on this illustration. It just kind of screams purity to me. And, you know, she's very pure. She doesn't let the negativity, the negative emotions and history hold her under or bring her down. She trusts her intuition in everything she does. It's a beautiful illustration right there. Empress is the next card in the sequence. And there you have the Empress, just as beautiful as that High Priestess. Like, the illustrations in this deck, they're absolutely gorgeous. Tania definitely put an extremely hard work in everything and brought her dream to life. I read a little bit about her, and it's like it started in a place of pain and grief. And I mean, how can you not know the history and the past couple years in the Ukraine? Like, the whole energy over there, it's just constant fighting and everything. It's terrible. But there, the Empress, you know, creating a better world, finding that dream and making it real. The Emperor follows the Empress, and there is that fire and everything we know with the energy of Aries. And you've got the 4 right there in the center. It's a little bit more difficult to see, but you know, it's there. And plus, you know, the more you read tarot and everything, the more you see that Emperor, you're like, it doesn't matter what it says. If there's a number, you know it's for. So there is that illustration right there. The strong foundation card of the major arcana. The Hierophant follows the Emperor, and there is the Hierophant. Oh, and I love the fact that it's a woman. Yes, and there's no religious takes to this or anything. It's the teacher card to me. It always has been that teacher card. And you see there, she's got that light in everything. She's holding it. She's creating it. And she's bringing that wisdom of all the experiences, all the teachers of the past, all those religions, all those foundations, bringing all of that knowledge and wisdom to you, saying, you know, trust yourself. You have that power to change and transform your life for the better. I love this card and this energy. Speaking of love, the Lovers is the love in this deck. There's that 6 in there. You see the love between the two people. I love the color and everything in this background. Very purple. And it's very just, they're connected so much together. Those masculine and feminine energies coming together. I suppose if I really wanted to, let's try it. Feminine energy. Yeah, I guess you could do that. I'm trying to make one word out of 2. But there is that illustration, followed by the Chariot, 7 of the major arcana. And this Chariot doesn't need a vehicle. It is the vehicle. So it's kind of, that kind of energy is with like Deviant Moon Tarot, where like the character is the car or the vehicle in there. You've got the character here. He's got his sword right there. He's got the bird above him. And he's got that wolf right there, showing that power he has to overcome the obstacles that stand in his way, to take control. So that is an awesome illustration. Again, all of these illustrations are absolutely awesome, amazing, and I just love the energy that's put into this, the magic that it brings into, right here in America, we have this energy, these stories of other places, and it's just incredible. There is strength. It's almost as if this dude, he found his power, he drove his chariot, now he has that strength and that wisdom and everything, and it's almost as like there's a dragon breathing smoke behind him. Beautiful illustration again, but the next one, just look how beautiful this illustration is. Yeah, when you watch my videos, you see like the love and the, oh, this is pretty, this is pretty. Yeah, that's me. But there is the hermit, spending time in solitude to learn the secrets of our souls. And you've got that energy there, that calmness, that stillness that comes with that spending time alone, just taking that time to go into that ocean of emotion, so we can learn from the experiences of the past, so we can take that knowledge and wisdom, spin the wheel, and begin the next chapter of our stories. There is the Fortune's Wheel, Wheel of Fortune, and most other decks. And there you see the wheel itself right here with the 10 in the center. And she's spinning wool, and that wool is the magic, taking the time. She took that time to learn from the experiences of the past, found that strength, overcame the obstacles, found that love from the reflection of her past, and now she can spin that wheel and begin the next chapter of her story. There's the Doors, taking that knowledge and wisdom, believing that good luck and fortune are on our sides. There's so much magic in this deck. I'm loving it. Justice is right here, and he's got his little feather quill right there. I've always wanted to take a crow feather and make it into a quill. I've even got pokeberries. They're extremely poisonous. Never ever eat them, but their berries are actually purple, and that reminds me of that. Like, I've actually got them frozen in my freezer, and I've always kind of wanted to make ink out of them so that I could like actually, old school antique history kind of things, and actually write with them, because obviously you don't want to eat them. But purple ink, yes please. So that is an awesome little illustration of justice, writing that fairness from within. You even see all the writing and stuff of the past. It's beautiful. The history and uniqueness of this deck, it's like nothing I've ever seen. Here is the Hanged Man, 12 of the major arcana, and there he's got his loot. I'm not positive about that. Again, guidebook is going to come in handy for this deck, because you're just going to learn the history of it. I cannot wait to work with it. And it's like the dark clouds and everything. He is the sunlight. He's taking that time to find peace within, so he knows what to let go of, what to release, so he can find that strong foundation he is. That death card, wow, the dress and everything. She's absolutely gorgeous with the gray hair and everything. She kind of gives you like high priestess vibes with that moon and stuff. And when you take that time to really decide what needs to go in your life, you absolutely can start trusting your intuition and be that strong foundation you need to be. So that is a beautiful illustration. Temperance reminds us those things that didn't kill us and made us stronger, when we release the negative emotions, can help us apply that knowledge and wisdom to the next chapter of our story, so we can change and transform our lives for the better. There is that temperance card, and there's so much light and so much magic to this card. I absolutely love it. Now, the witch seems to replace the devil. So this is a very interesting take on the devil. Now, we think of the devil, you think negative things. But take the word devil and spell it backwards, and you have the word lived. When you take that time to really learn from your experience of past, come to love who you are. Let's not forget that the energy of 6 is the lovers of the major arcana and self-reflection. Reflect on where you've been. Reflect on those things you don't like about yourself. Embrace that inner witch, that inner devil, and you can begin changing your life for the better. Begin creating the life that you truly love and enjoy. Beautiful illustration there. The magic that is involved in it. It's just fantastic. Cannot wait to start working with this deck. The tower is right here, and this tower is not damaged yet. That's really interesting. Most towers of the major arcana, the most towers of the tarot that you see, are always like, they're very damaged, like lightning bolts hit them, different things happening. We see the collapse of it, but here it kind of shows the tower is still standing. So that is a very interesting take. That's such a magical looking place, like a fairy tale garden or something, where the fairy tale mansion and the road going to it. Beautiful. The star, also beautiful right here. And you see here like the wisdom coming from her, those experiences, that tower that she left behind by choice. It's not crashing. You had that choice. That's the energy I get from that tower. She takes that wisdom and knowledge. It's helped her find those hidden talents. talent so that she can find the success that she deserves and use her star power to find it. Beautiful illustration there. The moon follows the star, and here is the sky telling you to trust your dreams. Beautiful, again, illustration. The people in this one, like the stories that they're going to tell. And it would take me all day to make this video, which I'm not going to put you through, to actually share what's in the guidebook, but I'm definitely going to be checking that out, because there's the stories, like the sun right here. What story does she have to share? What light does she have to share with the world? It's just gorgeous. Call is the card replacing Judgment in this deck, and you know, there they've got their versions of the trumpets, whatever these things are. You know, again, the stories behind these give us that mess energy, that wisdom that we need. And there is the illustration, like just the color and everything. The sound of music is the vibes I'm getting from this illustration. So that's really, really fun. The world is a beautiful stained glass picture. And it kind of says, you know, the world is ours to make what we want of it. So we can come find that peace and harmony, bring that art from all around the world together so that we can see the equalities, see the similarities we have between each and every one of us. You know, every society, every culture, every person in the world has a story to tell, and we all come together, we can make that world a better place. That is gorgeous. We start with the suits of swords, it seems, with the minor arcana right here, because we have the ace of air, the potential, the idea that magic, bringing it into life. You know, some of these illustrations are a little bit you know, harder to interpret and stuff, so this might not be a good deck for beginners. But if you're someone that loves collecting decks and you love these illustrations, again, the guidebook is going to be your friend here. You can work with it. And if you have an knowledge of the tarot itself, then you absolutely can use that knowledge to help, you know, Ace of Air. It's the aha card, as I like to call it, that idea in your mind that has potential. Now, this deck is set up a little bit stranger than what I'm usually seeing, because here is the Page of Air, so that'd be the Page of Swords, and those blue flowers or anything, absolutely beautiful again. The Messenger of Air, can I assume this is the Knight of the suit? Yeah, because there's the Queen. So this is absolutely the Knight. You know, that one that has they're not afraid of chaos, not afraid of obstacles, and they learn from those experiences. They can face whatever life throws at them because they have that strong mind. Beautiful illustration. The Queen of Air, Queen of Swords, is very beautiful as well. There is that illustration. See, she's very knowledgeable. She's very strong. You can see like she's experienced pain and everything in her past, but she's not letting that hold her back in the here and now. And there is the King of Swords. He looks kind of disappointed in us, doesn't he? That's just kind of, I feel the same way about presidents on dollar bills and like just bills and everything, is that look of disappointment. That's the expression I get in people's faces sometimes. But I like the fact that he's got that book, you know, the logical king of the suits, you know, trusting his mind, not necessarily his heart, and learning from books, learning from history, learning the folktales and the stories of other places can help strengthen our minds as well. Then we get to all the court cards, and now we're to the Two of Air. Interesting, again, like how they decide to set this up. There is the card of indecisiveness, taking that time to look within, or look in the guidebook. Yes, the beautiful illustration again. The Three of Air, the card of heartbreak and betrayal. But again, it's like the Tower. It's a choice. Like, there is no heartbreak and betrayal anywhere on this card. She's got that same kind of flute thing that the people in the Call had. So, you know, judging yourself fairly, forgiving the past. And, you know, you can start creating something more beautiful than you ever had before. I love that energy. That is awesome. The Four of Air is the Ukrainian flag. So you have that time of rest and reflection. Again, taking that time to learn from where you've been. Learn from the fighting. Learn from the stories. Learn from the ones that have come before us, so we can really find that strong foundation between all of us and humanity. Five of Air is the card I call the victor or victim card, and there is that illustration. And again, we have the song, you have the lute, the flute, whatever, the musical instrument, we'll just call it that. And you got all those sheep and everything, you know, taking your time away from people in general, spending that time with animals. Look how different, look how unique each and every one of those sheep are. But it doesn't matter. They still see each other as equal. And that's what we need to do as well. The Six of Air, the Six of Swords, is the card of leaving behind the stress and finding a time of peace and harmony. And that definitely looks like a peaceful and peaceful and harmonizing place, doesn't it? Beautiful. Again, the Seven of Air is the card, the Thief card of the tarot. And it's like she's looking inside the mirror, and it kind of gives me that energy that I love with the Seven of Swords, the Thief card. It's a suit of the mind. So it's asking ourselves, taking that time to look within, decide, what's been stealing our confidence, what's been stopping us, so we can come to love and appreciate who we are. So we can find that strength to let go of the past, to free ourselves from the prison of our minds. There's the energy of the Eight of Swords. What a beautiful cat. The black cat with blue eyes. How gorgeous is that card? And it's kind of like, again, telling you to look within, forgive the past. You definitely want to learn the stories of this deck, like the history that just comes with it. It just opens a new just a new world that we had no idea about. And I'm so thrilled to be able to work with it. Nine of Air, the Nine of Swords, the card of, lying awake at night, letting the nightmares and the worry fill us with doubt and anxiety. And if a lot of this was going on, that just looks magical and everything, but it also looks overwhelming. And that's what life can be sometimes, is overwhelming, right? Which can fill us with doubt and anxiety. And there is the Ten of Swords, again, joy. And there's so much of that in this deck. It seems, and I mean, we're only halfway through. We have a whole nother little pile right there. But the Ten of Swords, that's the card of wanting to give up, throw in the towel. But these people are coming together. It looks cold, it looks dreary, but there's joy here. And there's so much joy to be found when we just work together. Clear our minds by taking that time to find the similarity and the equality between one another. We're not all that different. We have the same dreams. We might have the same fears and everything like that. So by taking that time to connect with one another, then we might be able to make the world a better place while we're here. The Ace of Water, which would be the Ace of Cups, is right here. We're almost through these before we get to these, and I'm going to pile them all together, and then I guess in order to fill in the box, I'm going to take them apart again. But there is the Ace of Cups. Again, the potential and the idea. It's very similar to that Ace of Swords or the Ace of Air that we met a moment ago. There's nothing tangible to it yet. It's that gift from the powers that be, the gift from the universe that can help us make our lives into something. The Page of Water is right there. Beautiful again. The Page of Air had those blue flowers, and the Page of Water has a beautiful, cold-looking flower as well. The Messenger, or the Knight of Water, is right here. And again, a bird, but that bird's kind of sitting there saying, enjoy the moment. Enjoy those cherry blossoms right there. I believe that's cherry blossoms. It might be a dogwood tree, but I'm pretty sure it's cherry blossoms. Taking that time to appreciate the world around us and finding that love and that inner child within us. There is the first half of this deck. We're going to have to get to the next one. Slide that little sleeve right off of it. Come off very, very easily, so I'll probably keep them in there if I don't drop them on the floor and don't know where they went. Which is exactly what I almost just did. Okay, right there we have the Queen, so we're picking right up where we left off. The Queen of Water again. So magical, so beautiful, and so much to share with us just from this image. The King of Water is right here. Again, he looks a little bit confused, doesn't he? I love expressions on people's faces. They can really tell you a lot. And it's like, have you been listening to your heart lately? Have you been letting it lead you? And that feels like the question that he's asking. The Two of Water, we already saw the Ace of Water, is right here. And you see the hands clasp, that's emotionally fulfilling partnerships. And there doesn't necessarily see any kind of energy there that, they're lovers or romantic or anything like that. They found the connection with each other. These could be any two people that just found that appreciation. And again, humanity. Humanity is each and every one of us. So don't focus on their differences. Don't judge people for their different beliefs, their different ideas, their different upbringings. Focus on those connections, those things we have in common, and come together. Three of Water, the Three of Cups, the card of celebrating with others. This illustration doesn't show anybody else though, so this is a really, really cool take on it, because there you have is he making weaving something perhaps? And he's got the waterfall and everything behind him. Creativity and creation itself with the energy of the three. So you have that, Celebrating with friends can give us those ideas, but taking that time to celebrate who we are and spending that time getting to know our emotions and loving ourselves can help us create something fulfilling, right? Four of Water, the Four of Cups, is a very interesting illustration. I cannot read this right now because it's a little bit hard to see, but that illustration, you know, if you're bored, which is the energy of the Four of Cups to me, you absolutely can take the time to read this. I bet it's in the guidebook perhaps, and you definitely can learn what it shares right there. But you know, there's a lot of boredom energy with the Four of Water, the strong foundation card of the suit of emotional happiness and fulfillment, and that's where the positivity comes from, the silver lining. You know, if you have time to feel bored, you have time to feel comfortable, you have time to focus on something else. The Five of Water or the Five of Cups, again, there's, you know the negativity that is these cards. You know, the card of crying over spilled milk with the Five of Cups or the Five of Water. But here they're making something, they're doing something, they're bringing the pain that they have felt into something beautiful that they can create. So this takes the different energy, the different, I don't know how to explain it, just the perspective that comes to this deck is like nothing I've ever seen. The artist behind this, the name that I probably messed up, Tania Andrushko, I believe is, you know, how I'm pronouncing it, I guess. But that energy there, the way that she brought this together, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. Six of Water, the Six of Cups, you know, the card of nostalgia, reflecting on that past, remembering our childhoods and everything. And who wouldn't have loved to spend our childhood in a magical place like this? It's just absolutely beautiful. The card of choices, you know, emotionally fulfilling choices, some of which might be too good to be true, is right here with the Seven of Water or the Seven of Cups. And you see there the beautiful four maidens. You know, they all have different choices. They all have different ideas, but they come together and help one another. So if you're faced with a kind of bunch of choices, you don't know which one to make, then perhaps getting out there and telling your friends or telling someone, you know, and having them give you their perspective can help you make the choice and overcome that obstacle. The Eight of Water, there is that illustration. Again, beautiful, beautiful art that we don't see in other decks. You know, this is the card of leaving behind what no longer emotionally satisfies you. So it kind of gives you that energy of the aces of the suits, in the sense that when you let go of what no longer emotionally satisfies you, you can begin focusing on what does. So that is a beautiful take on that card. The Nine of Water, the Nine of Cups, is the wish card of the tarot. And there's so much magic in that card. Like, look at the sparkle and the fire and the zest that just seems to come with this illustration. You know, you learn from those experiences of the past. 9, Hermit, spending time in solitude to learn the secrets of your soul. When you take that time to learn the secrets of your soul, you spend that time getting to know yourself and learning from the experience of the past, you have the power to make any wish you have come true. So beautiful illustration right there. And there is the 10 of Water, the 10 of Cups, the happy family card of the tarot. And it shows, you know, it's not just the mother, father, son, and daughter. It's the people that we connect with, the people that fulfill us, that can absolutely help us find that happiness and fulfillment that the 10 of Cups or the 10 of Water represents. The Ace of Fire is next, and there is that illustration. And this one is different than the Ace of Air and the Ace of Water, because he's tangible. You can see him. He's still, you know, that highlighted kind of illumination that, you know, intangible like aces are, but he's just got more to him. And, you know, the more passionate you are about something, the more likely you are to find success with it. So that is a beautiful illustration. The Page of Fire or the Page of Wands is right here with those beautiful orange flowers. I'm not great with them, what trees and plants are, so we're just going to say those beautiful orange flowers. And there is that that fern almost right there with the light, you know, learning from the experience of the past and taking that knowledge and wisdom with you so that you can begin following that passion. I love, 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 love these illustrations. Here is the Messenger of Fire or the Knight of Wands, and cock-a-doodle-doo, there is that wake up with the sun, you know, find that passion that makes you want to get up with the sun and greet the day. Yes, that's what I do with the tarot. That's how, like, I found my passion. Obviously, like, you can see it, you can hear it in my voice, right? The passion and zest that I have for this path. And if there's one thing that I absolutely detest doing, it's waking up early. I do not want to see that sun wake up like this chicken does, or this rooster, because it's a chicken. It's still a chicken, but it's a rooster. That was sorry. But I found, like, if you find what you love to do, then it's worth getting up. These festivals, these events, these things that I put myself out there for. I'm getting there at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to drive like an hour at least to get to most of these places. And the sun comes up as I'm driving there, but it's worth every single second. So find that thing that you're passionate about, focus on it, soldier on towards it, and you'll be ready to greet the day too. Queen of Fire, or the Queen of Wands, is right here. Look how absolutely gorgeous she is, this illustration. I feel like there's two cards here. You know, the king is like, don't ignore me. But he can definitely wait until we talk about the queen, the most creative queen in my opinion. And there is her beautiful illustration, you know, looking right at us saying you can create a life that you're passionate about as well. The King of Fire, or the King of Wands, doesn't look as friendly and compassionate as the queen does, but hey, that's a dude, so it's what we expect, right? But there is that King of Fire, the King of Wands, that has been around the world and is an inspiration for the stories he has to tell. And that's what this deck is. It's stories, it's history. What is history but, you know, his hi story? Yeah, you know, saying hi to the stories of our past and learning from them. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Two of Fire, or the Two of Wands, the card of should I stay or should I go card, as I like to call it. And there, you know, again, if you have a choice to make, like that energy of the Seven of Cups, you have a choice to make and you want to do something, don't feel like you have to do it alone. Talk to people, connect. You know, two is a number of partnerships as much as it is anything else. So finding that partnership not only with your higher self, but with others too, that can help inspire you to begin creating the life that you are passionate about. There is the Three of Fire, the Three of Wands, my personal favorite card of the tarot. You know, it says when you find that passion, when you make that choice to follow your passion, not only can you begin creating the life that you love and enjoy and that you're passionate about, you inspire others to go after their dreams and passions too. Little story about me. I'm obsessed with like string music, like instruments and things, like instrumentals and stuff, and violin music is one of my favorites. When I was a kid, like this was back when I was like fourth grade or something, and that's when we were allowed to choose our instruments, I absolutely begged my mother to let me play the violin. But she said nobody cool ever played the violin, that she played the clarinet, so I played the clarinet, and that's what I did. And I didn't like it, and I didn't stick with it. But who knows what I would have done if I had the violin. But that's beside the point. You know, I found a passion. I found my passion. It might not be following or playing the violin, but it's definitely something that I can use to inspire others. And I truly hope all of us can find that thing that we're passionate about. Beautiful illustration again. Four of Fire is this magic wand, it seems. Hold on, I want to see something. It is. Look at this. You see that wand right there? That's the same wand right there. How cool is that? Now I got them out of order right there because I put him there. We'll have to get them back in order. There's the messenger. There's the queen, there's the king, there's the two, there's the three. Okay, they're still in order. But the Four of Wands, you know, that strong foundation card, it is kind of going back to the energy of the king, or, you know, would lead to that energy of the king, because we found that we found what we're passionate about, and we've created that strong foundation with it. So I love that little nod back to that king. That was cool. Five of Fire, the Five of Wands, is often seen as a bunch of people fighting with their own wands because they have different passions and different opinions. But this one, again, reminds us to take ourselves out of that situation. Don't let the opinions and voices of the other people make us think we can't change and transform our lives for the better, and just work towards what we are passionate about. Maybe he's making that wand, in the process of making that wand right now, so he can become that king of his story. Beautiful, beautiful illustration. And these berries, like, look at the Six of Fire. The card is celebrating our victories, no matter how small they are. Again, the background and everything, this energy there, you know, getting out there, appreciating nature, waking up and greeting the day, finding that passion and following it, even if we don't find success immediately, even if we fail sometimes. Appreciate everything we've done. Reflect on those experiences so that we can trust ourselves and love ourselves in the here and now. Beautiful illustration. Seven of Fire. Again, this is like, again, the negativity is just completely gone in these illustrations, because this is the card that we see a lot of times, one person standing there on a cliff fighting against the ones that don't believe in them. 7, that's the number of overcoming obstacles that stand in the way of success, getting behind the wheel of our chariots. And this card tells us we don't have to go at it alone. Walk through the fire with the people that just believe in us, the people that empower and inspire us, and don't give energy to the people that don't. I love this deck. This is awesome. 8 of Fire is the horse. Again, the artist behind this, she is so talented. Like, that's just gorgeous the way the horse looks. This is the card of, letting those wands fly, shooting those arrows towards what we want to achieve, and dealing with the craziness. The horse is the freedom. We found the freedom to find that success and follow our passions. Absolutely gorgeous. The 9 of Wands, or 9 of Fire, is often seen as the card of looking over our shoulders, wondering, when the next bad thing's going to happen. But this illustration kind of says, take those experiences, learn from those experiences, and then we can focus on where we want to go next and create something beautiful with it. That's exactly what the artist behind this deck did. She created something beautiful from her pain, from her grief, and brought it to the rest of us around the world. And it's so magical. 10 of Fire right there. You feel overwhelmed by all the things you've got going on. But give it up to the universe. Let the overwhelming feelings go so you can begin the next chapter. And again, see all those people? All those people remind us we don't have to go at it alone. Now we're to the suit of Earth, which even like it's a little bit different set up from the box. It's still, we always end on Earth because Earth is where we are. At least that's how I see it. But the Ace of Earth, look how absolutely gorgeous this illustration is. The way that she is nature, she is that power. And we trust our ideas, we can bring them into our worlds, we can bring them down to Earth, just like the artist behind this deck did. And we are so thankful for her. Beautiful, beautiful illustration right there, even with the deer, the water behind her, the waterfall that she is. Appreciate nature and appreciate our ability to bring things into nature as well. Page of Earth is right here with this illustration. Beautiful flowers right there, and the potential of it, and everything that we can take what we've learned in the past and focus, and we can create something while we're here. The Messenger, or Knight of Earth. This might be a wren. Again, I don't know bird species. I know crows. Crows and ravens, I can tell you immediately. And I can tell you a blue jay too, because they fight the crows sometimes when I feed them peanuts. They like them too. But again, everybody get along, the world would be such a better place. So there is the soldier, the Knight of Pentacles, the Messenger of Earth, as it is said on this deck, or in this deck. That, focus, even the boring and mundane things. The bird, it's not that much fun to build a nest, right? But the bird knows what the bird wants, and the bird knows how to create it, so it does. And it puts in that hard work and effort, and then creates its family and life there. So that's awesome, awesome illustration of the Knight of Pentacles, or the Messenger of Earth. Here is the Queen of Earth. She almost looks like that 9 of Wands energy that I've talked about, where you look over your shoulder wondering when the next bad thing is going to happen. And she kind of looks like she's doing that, wondering what's behind her. So that's a really cool illustration right there. And there is the King. The King does not look... See, again, different illustration with the face of the King. Different personality. I'm missing the word here. Different just kind of energy coming from his face. Yeah, he knows he's been places. He knows he's found success. So now he's like, who's going to take my success away from me? There is his wands. I wonder if we'll see the wand over here too. We'll find out. 2 of Earth, or the 2 of Pentacles, the card of balancing more than one thing at a time. And there you see that energy, bringing those two things we have to balance, maybe finding a connection between the two to make life more simple, life more balanced. So that's a cool take on the 2 of Pentacles, or the 2 of Earth in this deck. 3 of Earth is the card of working together, and there you see she's making beautiful music. So like the 2 of Fire there, he was making beautiful music as well. Put that instrument right there with that violin, and who knows what you can create with it. I love how cards in different suits and everything, you can see the energy that kind of combines them together. The 4 of Earth is right here, the card of saving your money for a rainy day. And you don't really see that in this illustration, but that light, that illumination reminds us, there's like the wheat and everything in the background. We can bring light to our lives. We can bring happiness and joy and success into our lives. And we save a little bit here and there and appreciate what we already have. The 5 of Earth is the card of feeling down on our luck financially. We didn't save that money like we were supposed to. But that illustration there, again, no anger, no negativity, no sadness to be seen. You know, look how happy she looks, because she might have found herself down in her luck, but she's been there before and she's creating something from it, changing and transforming her life for the better. Beautiful, beautiful illustration. Not quite as beautiful as this one right here, though. The Six of Earth, the card of sharing is caring, as I like to call it. And there, that tree. Look how amazing that tree is. Now, if you've ever read the book, I think it's called The Giving Tree, and how much the person actually took advantage of that tree. I don't remember that book very well, but that we just take advantage of the things that are there for us to take. But this kind of says, like, it's there for us. It's there for us to appreciate the wisdom, the knowledge that nature has, the wisdom and knowledge that the people around us have. Learning from it, sharing that wisdom and knowledge and everything can help us make the world a better place, to create that love, 6 lovers of the major arcana, to create the earth that we want to live, the one that we truly love and enjoy. 7 of Earth is the card of having patience in order to focus on finding the success with our goals. We've got to work for them though. But that's 7 right there. You see how she's being patient. She's standing there. She says, it's going to pay off. It's going to work out. Just take that time. Have patience with the process, and you can find that success. And what better character to show that hard work and effort pays off than the actual honeybee? A beautiful illustration right there. These little hard workers, they are the reason we have honey. They're the reason that we are here today. So we need to appreciate and keep those things safe in our lives. The 9 of Earth, the 9 of Pentacles, is the card of, I always like to see it as the card of buying yourself whatever you want, because you worked hard for it, hence new tarot deck. But you have that 9 of Earth right there, and so much. It's like the 9 of water, or the 9 of Cups that we saw. And I think the 9 of Arrow is there too. But that the things coming together, the history and everything. When we come together, we can be that success. We can learn from the experiences, and we can make things that people can buy and make the world a better place. And then last, but certainly not least, is the 10 of Earth. The card that other people see as generations of family coming together, but I personally see it as the past lives, the history, the stories that have come, the blood that flows through our veins, so that we can spin the wheel and begin the next chapter, making humanity a better place while we are here. That is the Ukrainian tarot. You see the different sides and everything right there. Let's get it back into the box by first sliding the little things back over them so they stay safe. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Whoop, how simple that was. Let's see if it's simple on this side too. And I love when the sides of decks are colored like this. It adds something else more magical than it was before. So it is awesome that it is like this. I've got the box right here. I'm not going to... Oh, I've noticed this. I didn't notice this before, but I think this is really cool. Let me move these out of the way. But there you see, each one has the little ribbon right there, so you can get it out more easily. So I'm going to set that one in there like that. Box slides back down, and we'll set this one right here like this. And there you have them ready to go. Where the guidebook sits right there on top. Again, sorry that it's dark, because the way that my light is set up, it kind of takes away from the light. But before I send you on the way, I'm really curious about this guidebook. So I'm just going to open to a random page. We're going to start apparently with the Suit of Water, and I'm going to read you what it says about this card so you get an idea of what the guidebook's like. You've got the categories and everything over here, like the keywords. And it says feeling, pure joy, satisfaction on an emotional level, nourishment, true heart, fertility, and felicity. Ask yourself, how do I nourish myself and expand my capacity to become a conduit for abundance? Action is pour from your heart all the love you have. Do not hold anything back. And Essence says when we give from an open and expansive heart, the energy and abundance flows through us and to us. So that is the energy on this side, and here's what it shares on this side. Draped in velvet and satin, Yarlo, and it has the Ukrainian spelling right there, smiles with warmth and joy. The sun god's face is radiant as he toys with the magic of the great golden sphere. Yarlo's perfection may be glimpsed in his entire being, proving that he is proud to bring his magnitude of light. The glorious Yarlo is the god of abundance and light, and he came into the world to give people a bright day, to share with them their happiness, fate, kindness, and love. As the son of the great Svarg, it's right there if you can see that. Again, pronunciation and I are not friends. He is the giver of all good, the guardian of human destiny and wealth. Yarlo also stands vigilantly, guarding the laws of ancestors. He has been called the grandfather who knows everything because he sees everything and knows everything. Sounds a little bit like the high priestess right there, doesn't he? As legend goes, Yarlo the sun was born from Kodlia, the goddess of light, through her golden egg. From those ancient times, he has been said to create life with a particle of red blood in every egg. That is why, since early times, Easter eggs have been painted in red and written on in front of a living fire. This practice was considered the highest charm against evil spirits. Once the eggs were consumed, the shells were highly regarded as prayers and were given back to Mother Earth in honor of this ritual of bounty and protection. When Yarlo arrives during the spring equinox, the bread makers turn the god of abundance and light, asking for prosperity and earthly fruits. The highest prayer was asking for a rich bounty during the harvest. Like the sun in the sky, Yarlo brings warmth and joy to those who behold him. Since he shares his bountiful gifts indiscriminately, we feel that we are all worthy of God's given blessings. From here, we create and share more abundance and love. How absolutely beautiful is that? Now, down here at the bottom, it actually connects to the different cards. You see, where is it? Like there, the name right there with the one beside it. Down here, it tells you, like, that's the character that they're talking about is actually the Major Arcana 4 card. You know, that's the Emperor. So the character they talk about, they connect back to each other. How freaking awesome is that? The 2 is the Ace of Air, like that illustration, that's that character. The Easter egg is the 9 of water. So we have, I remember that now, don't you? The 9 of cups. It looked kind of like the top of a head, but no, that was the 9 of the egg from Easter. That is so cool that it's down here and it has all those references of the other things. Like, this is definitely one of those decks. I think I did a video once of the most interesting decks that just teach you more than just the tarot, and that's what this deck is. Remember the 5 of Earth where the woman was making the bread? That's the bread maker. So that's all information in this deck, and it gives you each of those connections to the other one. I'm so thrilled to add this deck to my collection. And the magic fern right there, it's definitely going to be like an idea once it starts getting warmer and things are definitely growing again, because it's time of making this video, it's November, so there's really no growing. It's just everything is going dormant, like coming to an end so that we can begin again. So when that begin again happens, you know, go looking for that. Go find that magic place in nature, in the forest, so you can really find that connection that makes this all so similar. I'm going to set these back in here like this, set them around there. And that is the Ukrainian Tarot by Tania Andrushko, published by Red Feather Publishing, Schiffer Books. And again, as I always say, if you want a reading with this deck or any deck in my collection, feel free to comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that information will be in the link below. You order a reading with this deck, then I am absolutely sharing that guidebook with you so you can get that information too. So, you know, let me know if you're interested in that. I'd love to do that for you. You know, inspire and empower. That's what I want to do. And this deck is definitely going to help us do that. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can purchase this deck for your own collection. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.